Today on Family Matters.
What are you feeling when you watch that piece of tape?
Just upset. I just need it to get better.
If you both want this relationship to work, then you've got to look at the work that you've got to do.
Living with Colbert and his condition, it is scary.
You both want the same thing, but you're pushing it away. So when you get that fight or flight that makes you want to run, stay. Stay.
Stop it! No hitting!
On a daily basis, we have screaming, arguing, hitting. I'm really emotional about seeing that because living it is different than seeing it. Seeing my children hit me, I failed my kids.
It is not funny!
Do you know why your kids laugh?
No.
To diffuse the mother that's shouting in their faces like that.
Now go away!
No. You need to learn how to manage your stress. You've got to start doing that for you.
Stop, 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 stop!
And welcome to the show. My first guests, Kaila and Wes, contacted me after problems in their family reached breaking point. Kaila and Wes's youngest son has a rare heart condition, which has led to him being taken into hospital on several occasions. And Kaila says that despite their son's condition, Wes is still more interested in going to the pub than staying at home.
I'm Kaila, my partner's Wes. The boys are called Carson Lee, he's 3 years of age. My youngest is Colby, he's coming up to 20 months. I feel my family's coming to a bit of a breakdown.
My son Carson is out of control.
He's running across the city, he doesn't do as he's told.
Sit on the chair now.
No.
Sit on the chair now.
No.
Now.
He's throwing a lot of temper tantrums. He hits.
Oh, stop.
He did say, shut up. When I see him do things like that, you know, it does make me laugh. I just put it down to, oh, it's growing up in it, I suppose.
We're constantly undermining each other.
I think it's more of Kayla's job to discipline the children.
Stop it. No.
There's been many times that I've sat down and I feel like a single parent because I do it all on my own. I've then got no energy, so I then let him fall asleep on the sofa. Colbert has a health condition called tetralogy of Fowl's, which is 4 different heart defects. That put a whole lot of stress on me and Wes. Me and Wes are on the verge of a breakup constantly.
It's just all one big mess.
You're waiting for that moment for it to blow, and I don't want it to get any worse.
Shocking for you to see.
Yeah.
What are you feeling when you watch that piece of tape?
Just upset, heartbreak. I just need it to get better.
What are you feeling, Wes?
That, and you know, I need to really try and pull my finger out, to be honest, and help out a bit more.
Can we just go back a little bit here? Because I want you to take me to the place where you felt you were losing control of everything that was happening in your home.
Well, to be honest with you, when I first had Carson, when we and Wes first got together, it seemed kind of all right. And then obviously...
What was all right about it? You're like, it's kind of all right.
There was no stress. Like, we did our own thing still because we had no responsibilities. And
so
then
you mean as a couple?
Yeah.
As a couple, you would do things together, but have your own individuality of things you wanted to do together. Yeah. Right.
And then, obviously, I fell pregnant with Carson, and it was a joy, it was happy. And then I think reality actually hit when I did have Carson, because responsibility came in, and Wes isn't great with responsibility.
Is that true?
Yeah.
And
I think it's just because I've been used to doing my own thing, and you know, I know it can't.
What do you mean that? What do you mean by that? I've been used to doing my own thing.
Just like, you know, I didn't really ask. I could just like go out when I wanted. You know, I didn't have a responsibility, and.
Have you ever had responsibility?
In a sense, yeah, but in a sense, no.
Well, what does that mean? Define that for me.
It means I have, you know, I do have other children.
You do? How many other children do you have?
I have 6 other children.
6 other children.
Yeah.
Are you involved in their lives?
No, I'm not. But that's really a different story.
But it's the same, right? As in, no responsibility.
Yeah.
And then you had Kobe.
Yeah.
So talk to me about Kobe.
Colbert is a poorly baby. And he does need a lot of care and attention.
Right, he's got a
Heart condition, yeah.
So that his stages of development are delayed?
Yeah, very delayed, yeah.
Right, OK. So that requires more for you to do?
Yeah.
Because he's more dependent than, say, a toddler who's reaching those milestones?
He is, yeah.
Right, OK. So do you do that all?
Most of the time, yeah. Because I think if I do it myself, it'll get done a lot quicker.
Do you know the way things should be done, or is it the way that Kaylee wants it done, or is it the correct way that it needs to be done because of the children?
Yeah, you know, I obviously know what needs they have and how to fulfil the needs, and a lot of the time I do say to Kaila, you know, I'll do that, or, you know, is there anything you want me to do? I know I shouldn't really say, I should just get up and do it, but I just don't do that. I don't know why I don't do that. I just don't.
Well, today you need to know why.
Yeah.
Because you're here because there's a huge problem.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pose that to you. Why don't you just do it?
I don't know.
Well, I'll give you a minute.
I just think it's because there's someone there, honest opinion, there's someone there to do it. And I'm not saying if Kaila wasn't there, then I'd do it. And
So basically, because you know she will get up and do it, you don't bother to do it. So what you're admitting then is that if you just sit back long enough, you know Kaylee will do it.
yeah.
OK. Let's just go to more tape, please.
What you stood there for?
Don't. Why are you starting?
Overall, my relationship with Wes is not good because we argue quite a lot.
No, if you're treating me like a kid, I mean.
I'm treating you like a kid.
The atmosphere in our home is always tense.
I don't understand why you've just done that. Can you just give it him on the laptop now?
Yeah, I know, but we're crying.
I think his way of dealing with things is to run away.
Want chocolate? I tend to go to the pub and just, you know, have a few pints. I wouldn't say I was an alcoholic, but I feel like I go into a different world when I have a drink.
When I am left on my own, I do get a bit angry and upset.
It'd only be for a few.
No, well, a few's never a few, is it? I don't think you should. I said no. I said no. Well, if he's having time out, why can't I sit and have time out? Well, I can't go, so don't think you should go. Or what, you're going to walk out now? I feel like I'm left to do everything. You're the one that's looking like the idiot, Wes, not me. Do what you want then, eh?
I feel trapped to a certain extent. I feel trapped with my kids. I feel trapped with not being able to do what I want to do.
If he pulled his weight and he helped me out, I would want to hug him and I would want to kiss him. I did think he was beginning to love me less.
You know, to me, it doesn't seem like there's not much there anymore.
I just don't think he cares.
Is there any reason why Kaylee should believe that you do want to be in the relationship, that you do want to be present, that you do want to be a father that is there for your children?
I don't know, the relationship's quite hard, you know, as a couple, but my kids, you know, I love my kids and I feel I'll always be there for my kids. I know I don't do much for them, and that, but I'd always be there for them though.
But you're not. It's not enough, is it?
No.
Kaylee, what do you need from Wes?
I need him to be there. I need him to stop getting up and going out when he feels like it. You know, sometimes he does do it to prevent an argument from happening, but, you know, I don't have a way out. I've got to stay there. And I'd love him to open up to me and be more affectionate.
I do tell her to go places.
So you should talk to each other here.
She knows it though. I do tell her to go places, and
He does, but I won't go because
she won't go, and I do tell her to, you know, mine is to go to the pub, have a few pints, and I say she was going to go to yoga and start doing things like that, but she never seems to do it, and then when we have an argument, she's at it. I don't get an escape, I don't get this, but it's like, well, I've asked you to go.
But I won't go because I don't think he'll cope with the kids on his own, so I won't make that break and leave him because I'm scared. Because when I go to the shop for 10 minutes, the kids are hysterical. So then I've got that in the back of my mind then, that I've left him like that. And then that's how it's going to be for the rest of the time that I'm out.
They do calm down after a bit, you know, and 5 minutes or so. I do give him things to be quiet, like the laptop, for example, so he can watch whatever he wants to do on it. And I think that's...
But I don't think he should be giving him a laptop. I think he should be more involved. He should be playing with the toys with him. And
yeah, but I do. I give Carson the laptop and I play with Colbert because he needs... Carson can sit there on a laptop. He's old enough to do what he does on a, you know, watching cartoons or whatever. Colbert needs to be sat down and played with, and I do that. So. But
I'm scared if I make this break of going out and doing my own thing that I am going to get a phone call 5 minutes later, but I'm scared to try.
I have always told you to try, though.
I know you have, but...
Why is there this innate feeling to run when things get difficult to walk?
I always have, and, you know, I don't really want... I don't know. I don't know the answer to it. If I find the situation's hard, I always have run.
Still to come on Family Matters.
What have you been numbing with alcohol?
I thought we were going to die.
Keep talking, Wes.
Can't.
It's good. You said that you felt trapped. Can you explain what you mean by that? Because that was rather concerning, that you feel trapped. As a man who already has 6 kids and another 2 now in this relationship, this trapped feeling, where does that come from?
I've never really felt trapped in another relationship, to be honest. Only the one, you know.
Is that because you've been able to get away and do what you want when you want?
Yeah, probably.
So you define having a commitment as being trapped?
It's not much as that,
because if that's the case, you need to be single.
Yeah. Well, could put it that way.
No, I'm being serious.
No.
If that's the case, if that's how you define being trapped, being in a loving relationship, having a commitment, having the honour to raise 2 beautiful boys in your life, if you see that as trapped...
Yeah, I don't really see that as trapped. What I see as trapped is like, you know, yeah, you do see me going to the pub. I do go to the pub. I do go out. I do this, but it's always with an argument. It's always never you go off and do something, you know, come back and, you know, like I say, Kaila go off and do something. It's just that that's the kind of trapness.
So why is that? Why is it that Wes feels like he just can't go down to the pub and have a couple of pints without there being an argument, without there being this altercation between the pair of you? Why is it that he feels that way?
Because
Can you tell Wes why it is?
Wes, I do make you feel that way because I can't just do that, and that's what annoys me.
I asked you to do this, and because you don't feel that you can do that, then I can't do that.
And there's an argument because you always say, oh yeah, I'll go for a few, I'll be home at 10. And it's never at 10. You never do as you say you're going to do. And if you did, I'd probably say to you, go out more. I'd probably give you a bit more leeway, but you don't ever do what you say you're going to do.
Why's that? Why can't you stick with your word and build trust? Why can't you mean what you say and say what you mean, knowing that if you could just keep your word, that you would build trust in the relationship, and that would allow her to feel that she could trust you at your word.
I think that is because, my honest opinion, I think it is because I go out on an argument and I'm angry. Even when I get to the point, I'm still angry, and I think, well, why should I? You know, why should I do that? I've got a fight to come out. I've got a, you know, there's always all this drama to come out, and, you know, I don't know when I'll be able to come out next without another, so I just may as well stay out until, you know, I can't stay out any longer.
Do you know how immature that is?
Probably sounds immature.
You sound like a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah. But that's the truth.
Let's go to the videotape, please.
Living with Colbert and his condition on a day-to-day basis, it is scary. We didn't know from one day to the next if he was going to die. And we'd have to get ambulances out and he'd stop breathing and he'd go blue. And when we saw him, it was just horrific. He just looked dead.
I don't feel I was there for Kaila as well as I could have been. When you see your son lying there, I couldn't really stay there, to be honest. I was there as a person, but I wasn't there as support.
It was when he saw him in intensive care for the first time. He just walked straight back out and he was in tears. He said, "I can't handle it."
That may have played a big part of how our relationship would pan out.
And that did wind me up because I thought, well, I've got to do it, so why can't you?
I should have really stepped up more, but I didn't know how to deal with it.
He could live a normal life till like quite an old age, but then you never know what could happen tomorrow. And it really just scared me. I wouldn't cope if I lost him.
So let's talk about this for a moment, because for most couples, raising children, it brings up adversity and challenges. But you had a whole nother ball game, really, with respects to your little one here. I mean, that's quite a very powerful photo that evokes a lot of emotion when you see your young one there with tubes and really surviving and trying to survive, right? And pull through the operations. What was going through your mind at the time, and what have you been feeling that you've been numbing with alcohol?
I thought he was going to die.
Keep talking, Wes.
Can't.
It's good. It's good. Just cry and
this is what I need him to do. I need him to open up like this.
You thought he was going to die?
Yeah, and that's all I ever thought. And I'm not going to sit here and say that's why I drink. I don't know. I've never cried in front of Kaila, and this will most probably be the first time. You know, I don't have a relationship with my other kids, and that's a total different thing. And these two, I really do have a relationship with, and that's just the way it is, you know. When you love something so dear as your kids, you think you're going to lose one, then it's most probably the hardest thing ever.
And did you talk to anyone about this?
No. Nobody.
So you kept everything inside?
Yeah.
And just put on a brave face?
Yeah.
Yourself? No one? No conversations about how each other were feeling?
No. I just wish you would be able to open up to me, Wes, and talk to me.
I've never opened up to anyone, and, you know, I wish I could change that, you know, because I know you're quite an emotional person, and she does talk to me a lot about things, and I most probably sit there with the expression that I don't care, but I do. I just don't know how to...
Express?
Yeah.
Do you write?
Do I write? I used to write a lot of songs, yeah, and that's how I used to express, and I don't do that anymore. Maybe I need to start doing that.
It'd be a good way to start doing it.
Yeah.
Kaylee could read that, and at the same time, you're able to vent out and write down what you're feeling.
I'll have to start doing that again.
It'd be a good start with respects to you being able to communicate. Let's go to some more tape.
I hope the outcome of this is going to be for us to be happy as a family and do more things together and to stop the arguing. If Wes was to open up to me and let it all out. I don't know how I'd feel. I think it'd be overwhelming. I think we should sit down and talk, but I don't even think that'll get us anywhere.
If this doesn't work, I cannot imagine what we're going to do, because then we've tried everything. You know, it can only last for so long, can't it?
I do still love Wes. Not as much as I did when we first got together.
I'd like to get that back on track. I'd like to, you know, feel like I'm in a relationship. I don't really see a big future, to be honest.
I am a bit hard on him. And I don't understand him, and I wish I could.
Come here. Come over here. Sit here. I need you both talking, all right? Because the only way that you are going to be in a place where things are going to get better is to be able to be brave enough to tell each other exactly how you're feeling, and not just talk a good talk, but you've got to walk it as well.
Yeah.
Because whilst you're not prepared to do that, the other one is going to feel like there's no commitment, okay, and that you're not invested. And it's going to take two in this party to make things happen. Otherwise, you're going to write the script for inevitably what you're saying you both don't want. And that's a choice. You both have that. If you both want this relationship to work, then you've got to look at the work that you've got to do. You've got to stop giving lip service. In order to be able to make the relationship better, it means you both have to listen to one another. It means that you both have to be in agreement with what you do together, working as a team, moving forward, raising the kids, understanding what the children need from you, and how you both do that together. It's together, not me going down the pub every night, walking away, escaping from it, not me feeling on my own like a single mum, when there is a man present here who's supposed to be my partner and the children's father. You're either in it or you're not. Are you in it?
Yeah, definite. And I do promise now, if anything, you know, I can't really start off with everything, but I'm going to build on it and show you that I do care, especially in front of the kids as well, because I do love you and I mean it. That's the truth, but you really do need to start having a bit of time out as well, because you're constant 24/7.
So let's talk game plan, okay? Kaylee, you've been going on and on about what needs to get done, okay? What do you feel are your priority A, B and C's that need to be instilled, that need to be put in the house so that the pair of you can get busy?
More interaction with the kids, less drinking, more emotion and affection in the house.
You've got this wall up against you. You create this wall, like a big moat, and you put this great big wall because the truth of the matter is you're scared of being hurt. You're scared that if you love, if you show it, you may lose it, or somebody may use that against you and hurt you. You need to slowly bring down that wall, because I think Kaylee's done more than enough to show you.
Yeah, she has.
That she's there through thick and thin.
And now she's got the wall as well now, because...
To protect.
Yeah.
You do need to go home tonight, and you do need to write out a routine that allows you as parents to be able to meet the needs of these kids. Here's what I think happened as well, which I want to be able to end with here today, is that for the first time you both sat here and you regulated your emotions. Okay, you were able to articulate what you needed from each other without losing your temper, without flying off the handle, without you being in fear of how Kaylee would react, not respond, react, okay? And with you feeling that you could express yourself without you walking. And when you didn't walk off the stage...
I did want to, but I didn't, you know.
No, you know I'd have dragged you back.
Yeah.
But when you didn't walk off, look what happened. It meant that you could hear what was being said. It meant that you could finish off the conversation. You both want the same thing, but you're pushing it away. So when you get that fight or flight and that adrenaline that makes you want to run, stay. Stay. And in response to that is you being able to create a space where you can have a conversation and you can have one that allows you to put across what you feel, but without shouting and creating what I would say is a trigger response for then Wes to want to run. Okay?
Yeah.
Because as soon as things get very confrontational, as soon as things become very heated and are very aggressive, it creates a trigger response in Wes to want to run away from it.
Yeah.
Because the outcome of that in his own life wasn't too pretty, and that's why he wanted to run.
Yeah.
Okay? So understanding that keeps you both together in the same space. Because when you are, look what comes out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel more happy and positive, yeah.
Thank you for coming there. Appreciate it.
Still to come on Family Matters.
Screaming, arguing, hitting. I'm really emotional about seeing that because living it is different than seeing it. Seeing my children hit me, I failed my kids.
Welcome back. My next family, Ben and Amy, contacted me because they feel they are failing as parents. Ben wants to regain his bond with his oldest son, Nathaniel, and Amy has lost all confidence as a mum, feeling shattered emotionally and physically.
My name is Amy. I live with Ben, 2 boys, Nathaniel and Ethan. I have real difficulty disciplining Nate. He is destructive. I don't discipline him.
That is not nice.
He doesn't listen to much I say.
Now go away.
We have, on a daily basis, screaming, arguing, hitting, throwing, spitting.
Nathaniel, he won't listen. He doesn't listen to anything.
Bike in, please. No. Come on.
No. He does hit me and Amy a few times. If you try and tell him off, he just laughs it off. He thinks it's all fun and games.
It is not funny. No.
Both of us are struggling with it. But Amy more, because she just thinks she's a bad mum.
The effect that the children's behaviour is having on me is that I am very down. I've lost my confidence as a mum. I just feel that I need help before this gets out of control.
Welcome to the show, the pair of you. Take me right the way back to Ethan.
Ethan. Ethan's the youngest.
Yeah.
He was a surprise.
Okay.
Wasn't planned.
Right.
Positive pregnancy test whilst I'm looking at a 16-week-old baby. I think it was then I thought, I don't know if I can do this. I'm really emotional about seeing that because living it is different than seeing it.
Why? How different?
I just look like I just want to give up. And I know that's how I feel, but watching it and seeing my children hit me and fighting like that, I failed my kids.
How do you feel that you have failed your children right now?
They're unhappy. Unhappy children don't scream, cry, fight.
How happy are you?
I'm not happy.
Tell me what you're not happy with.
I'm happy with my children. I love my children, but I'm not happy with maybe the person I've become or the person I thought I'd be different as a mum.
When Ethan was born, how different was it in the house?
Well, that was when I lost control as a mum. I just used to sit in the middle of the kitchen floor crying, with one baby crying, who wouldn't go asleep, and another 13-month-old running around wanting my attention. And Dad was at work and Ben was at work. How can I can't do it. I couldn't do it.
So you started to feel overwhelmed,
Overwhelmed from the day I brought Ethan
anxiety,
home.
from the day you brought Ethan home. What do you see with Amy?
I just see her struggling all the time. but I know she can do it.
What do you do?
I try to help. Sometimes she won't accept it. I think she needs to just relax more, not get so wound up with the kids, not worry about cleaning the house so much and just spending time with them on the floor playing.
Can you talk a little bit about Nathaniel? Why was he wrapped up in cotton wool? Why was this whole sort of premise around him?
Well, I think that was Amy. Just, as she said, didn't want anyone to touch him. She was very precious with him, mollycoddled him. You know, as soon as he'd make a noise, she'd be at the cot, or she'd be picking him up. And now he's become this precious little boy that needs a lot of attention.
Was Amy so protective over Nathaniel that you couldn't enjoy doing the things that you hoped you would be able to do? Because it was all about Amy making sure Nathaniel is okay and I'll do this and I'll nurture. And...
Yeah, it was quite difficult sometimes in going out. Getting ready, she'd get really stressed about going out because she didn't want people to touch him. And
Why?
I'm really rigid about things that need to be done and how they should be done before we can enjoy a family day.
Meaning?
Everything has to be set ready for the day to go smoothly. So bags have to be packed, people have to be dressed clean, the house has to be tidy, toys put away. I can't discipline my kids, but I'm really strict about everything around it.
It kind of makes sense.
Because I always thought someone said to me, with bread, you butter the edges, the middle takes care of itself. So I thought as long as there was a good get up, breakfast, dinner, tea, bedtime routine, that the rest would just fall into place. And it's not. I don't know how I'm supposed to teach them good ways of how to be little boys and express themselves without not falling into line of what I think should be happening.
Well, are you raising little boys or are you raising two little robots?
Oh yeah, robots.
Let's go to the tape.
Nate's behaviour really escalated and changed when we brought Ethan home. He used to hit Ethan at 13 months old. He'd pick up items and toys and hit Ethan. Food, he doesn't eat much food. What he likes, and anything else, he won't try it.
Nate doesn't listen to anything.
Can you say sorry?
No.
You going to stay up here then?
No.
Do you want to go up to your bedroom?
No.
Right. Can you come and say sorry, please? Nathaniel, say sorry or you're going to go to your bedroom. Nathaniel, what do you say, please?
So you'll take it away then?
Right, should I take it away? Just say thank you and you can have it back. Right, what do you say? Right. Can you say thank you, please?
It just feels like he's constantly wanting to buy attention. Go and play with the track, Nate. Mummy does this, please.
Yeah.
I can't be at his beck and call.
Can you come down, please?
No.
I'm worried that Nate is going to get to 8, 10 teenager years, and I haven't got a hope in how in controlling him.
It's quite interesting to watch because what you say you feel with him is completely opposite with how you are with him.
Right.
You know, you're very obsessive with making sure that you're interacting with him every minute.
Yeah.
It's like there's no room to breathe.
No.
You know, a routine and a structure is supposed to be flexible.
Yeah.
Has Amy always been quite meticulous about everything being in its place, about everything being in line? Does everything have to go A, B, C, D, E? I mean, does everything have to be that way?
Yeah.
So what's it like being in the house then with two kids when toys are on the floor and...
For me, it doesn't bother me. You know, I don't mind toys all over the floor because eventually they will pick them up.
But for you, that's an eyesore.
With the boys, I don't see if you've got 3 or 4 different things out, like you've got cars out and a train track out, why can't just I don't understand. See that? I sound so like I'm being like I'm trying to suppress him. And I do, when I'm watching that, I think, oh, you poor little boy. But I just don't see how that can be an enjoyable play if you've got 20 million things.
But don't you think that's interesting because this is the first time that you've been able to step back and actually see yourself and see how you are behaving?
It's horrible. I'm the person I don't want people to think I am. It's not nice.
Let's talk about the food, because I saw there with the yogurt pot, the not yogurt pot, thank you. It's like, if I was Nathaniel, I'd be like, what's going on?
Just give me the yogurt.
I'd be confused. Like, you want the yogurt, you don't want the yogurt. At this stage, I don't know whether to give you the yogurt or eat the yogurt. I'm a bit confused right now watching this. You can see he's like, well, I might take a spoonful, I might have to give it back. Talk about the food. Like, what's going on with this food situation?
Nathaniel was a brilliant eater. And then he got to about 11, 12 months old, and he had quite a bad illness, just a viral illness, nothing major.
Yeah.
But it threw him off, and then he had a chicken pox thing on top of that, so he went completely off his food.
Yes.
And then when it got back to eating food, he was very particular about what he ate. But I used to stand in the kitchen.
Did he tell you then? Did he say to you, I'm very particular now with what I want to eat after chicken pox? I just want this, and I just want that, Mummy. Did he tell you that?
No, but he wasn't eating it. So I should make him something else.
So you used to make him something else?
Like 5 or 6 different teas.
Are you serious?
He can't be hungry.
5 or 6 different meals?
He wanted, yeah.
If he was hungry, he'd eat, wouldn't he?
Still to come on Family Matters.
Read every book and watched every programme.
Then why are we in this place?
Because whatever I do, I just can't make it work.
Tell me what used to happen then. I want the breakdown of that. So he didn't say, well, I've just decided after chicken pox, there's just a couple of things that I decide that I want to have now on my meal plan, Mummy. Okay? You put something down, he pushed it away, and then what happened?
I find something else that he did want to eat.
Right, so then you put that down, he pushed it away.
So I go with whatever was safe, whether it be chocolate ready break or yogurt. Even when he was little, I used to have to put yogurt on the tip of the spoon because he didn't like the taste of normal food. So I would get like a savoury and then put yogurt on the tip. Oh. But people tell me they do the same.
Okay, I understand that encouraging them to eat different foods as you're introducing them to puree foods, and you might dip a little bit of savoury with sweet, and they're getting used to the textures. But at what stage did you decide that when he kept pushing the food away, that actually he didn't like it, and now I've got to keep giving him what he wants because that means that he'll eat?
Well, it's always been the same since he was born. But if he didn't like it, he doesn't have to have it. I can find something else.
How do you know he doesn't like it?
Spits it out.
You know, it takes a child to eat something at least 12, 15 times before they actually get used to it and before they actually acquire the palate, the taste, the texture. And when kids tell you that they don't like something, it's not because they just don't want it. But it doesn't mean we go and serve 7 different options to them. What do you see? Don't tell me you're the one cooking it all.
I wish she could cook 10 meals then, couldn't
What do you see?
Well, yeah, she does cook him stuff, and if you want to eat it, she'll do it again, do something else. But I've always said to her, don't, and just don't. If you want to eat it, then you want to eat it. But then if he doesn't eat it, she'll give him snacks before he goes to bed. So he still gets what he wants. And he's not hungry then.
You're creating a bad habit. But why are you not implementing techniques to get him to become more familiar and comfortable with sharing with his brother and being in the same space? Why are you not implementing tools that allow him to feel that you still love him as much as his younger brother and that there's no threat with having a younger one on board? You don't come across as a woman who wouldn't have read
I've read every book and watched every programme.
Then why are we in this place?
Because whatever I do, I just can't make it work. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Read the books and do.
I did.
Then why are you not doing? We can't all be wrong, Amy.
Probably because it didn't work for me, I reckon.
What's wrong?
Well, I just don't like shouting and I don't like the fuss. I'd rather just give up. If he's hitting me, then I can't be bothered. Then just hit me.
If you put it in place and you see it working, why don't you carry on?
Because I don't know if it's me. Well, it is me, but if it gets to a point where time out or go into the bedroom or just come separating Nate and Ethan becomes funny to them. And it's not funny for me because I'm trying to put Nate in time out.
Do you know why your
and
kids laugh?
Ethan's running backwards and forwards.
Do you know why your kids laugh?
No.
To diffuse your temper, to diffuse the mother that's shouting in their faces like that, to diffuse, because it's actually quite frightening for them. You know, you're a woman who's read parenting books. I know that you've watched my shows. I know that you've read my books. So how the hell we're still here talking about this, I do not know, okay? The reality is that you are not choosing, okay, to implement and to follow through. And you've created this barrier because in your mind, everything needs to be equal. In your mind, everything has to be in order. In your mind, what you need to do is to learn how to manage stress more.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to learn how to manage your stress because your stress has you overwhelmed and your overwhelmness has anxiety. And your anxiety is triggering your obsessiveness to have things in order, to have things in a place, to have things like this, to have things like that. That's not how it happens, you know? And in the end, everybody's being thrown into the mix and they're all feeling like they've got to act like proper little soldiers. It's warped. It's not real. No. Let's go to the tape.
When Nathaniel first came along, I did smother him. He was my everything. I have endometriosis, so it took me a while to conceive.
She's treated him like a miracle baby, so she's always been soft on him. So he's become a bit of a spoilt boy, I suppose.
My actions have made for what I'm dealing with now, completely. Being a full-time mum is challenging. It's not as rewarding as it's always meant to be. Because I love my children, but I don't always want to be with them.
To see Amy upset, it is frustrating. I just want to help. You know, sometimes she won't let me, and it is difficult. It was getting to the point where we were both going to go our separate ways. But I think, you know, we pulled through it.
Me and Ben reached crisis point before Christmas. I used to read Nate a book called Sam's Snowflake, and it's about 3 bears at Christmas, and Daddy Bear goes into the forest at night, and Mum promises him that he'll be home in the morning with the snow. And in the book, in the morning, Sam wakes up and Daddy Bear is not there, and his Christmas is ruined. Well, I'm not doing that to my kids. Never.
Look, you need, in order for you to let your hair down, okay, and to liven up a little bit, okay, just let yourself just loose a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, you need to be able to let go, okay? You need to be able to let go a little bit of recognizing that right now you're in a place mentally where you're feeling very overwhelmed and very anxious. And you've got to look at how you're going to create more calm, more stillness, okay? Whether that's holistic or not, it's looking at the things that are going to support you as a mother, as Amy, whether that's getting out and just taking a 30-minute brisk walk around the block, whether that's doing a little bit of exercise, whether that's just taking an aromatherapy bath, whether that's just doing something that you just feel, I just need to feel, I can deflate. Because the reality is, unless you don't start being consistent with yourself doing that, you're going to create more tension, more anxiety.
Yeah.
And what's happening is that, truthfully, that anxiety is having a whole ripple effect on the whole family.
At the times when it's peak and everything's coming down around me, or I feel like it is, and people say to me, take 5 seconds out, just walk out and come back. Just breathe. I can't. I keep myself in the middle of it. I let it consume me.
I have a method called SOS, okay? You step back for a moment. You're able to observe the whole picture and you step back in. Right. Stepping back gives you true perspective of observing the whole picture. You put yourself in there and you stay in there. And you let all the drama move around you and you are unable to then have a true observation of what's happening so that you can step back in with resolution because you can see the whole picture. You've got to start doing that for you. So what do we change today?
Well, I just need to relax and give a bit more to Ben. Take those few minutes, just for, I'm a person as well. I suppose I can't be a good mum if I'm not happy, so I need to give Ben some of the responsibility. Take some time for me.
I take some time for you. If you need my permission, you have it. Okay?
Are you listening now?
Take some time. You do have to manage yourself, because if you are unhappy and if you are emotionally and mentally feeling overwhelmed, it does create an environment for the whole family that's very unstable in. You know, and just being able to decompress and to find those moments whilst you are with the children, and to have those moments when Ben can just be with the kids and doing his thing will serve you well. You know, and mentally you'll feel in a different place, and you won't feel so overwhelmed, and you'll feel that the day is more manageable, and you'll actually see things that you never saw before, and you'll actually start enjoying it. And that's where we want to have you enjoying it. So take time for yourself too. Thank you.